Hello and good morning everyone, and thank you for joining our webinar with Isosec today. That is all around transforming and mobilising healthcare. So we are joined here by Michael Latimer, who's going to be presenting the webinar for you all. But just before I pass over to Michael, I'll just really quickly go through some housekeeping details with you all. So you are muted throughout the webinar today, but if you do have any questions at all, there is a feedback form at the end. So if you pop those in there, we will get back to you with the answers. I'm also recording the webinar today, so I'll send you all the recording either this afternoon or tomorrow morning. Okay, I'm now going to hand over to Michael.
Okay, thanks very much, Amy. It's a pleasure to be here at our webinar in conjunction with our friends at Bytes. Okay, what I wanted to do today was to spend some time showcasing the innovations from Isosec that are helping to transform the NHS and the way it works today and in the future. Just a little bit about myself. I'm Michael Latimer, the CEO of Isosec. It's obviously a great pleasure to be here today on the webinar. So the agenda, what I'd like to do today is to do a few things. I want to introduce Isosec. I know some of you will know a little bit about our business, but a few of you will not. So please bear with me when I just run through some of the history and information about our business. And then I want to run through how we're helping to transform the NHS, some of the solutions that we've got out there and how it's helping our customers. Then after that, we'll have a wrap up and then any Q&A and close. So that's great. Thanks very much. Okay, about Isosec. So who are we? So Isosec are a software business. We're based in Media City in Manchester. The interesting thing is the NHS is our only customer. So we have over 80 NHS Trust customers and over 100,000 users of our software. So that allows us really just to have that one single focus on one vertical, which is the NHS. We're not distracted by other activities, the sort of enterprise sector. Everything that we do is focused clearly and plainly on the NHS. Our mission, so what Isosec's about is working in partnership with all of our customers, and to helping them to transform the daily lives of their clinicians, to make their life that bit easier with great software that's secure and easy to use. We have great people. They're really interested in our customers and extremely passionate about what they can do on a daily basis to help everybody. Okay. So every business has a DNA, and in Isosec, we like to think what makes us tick is really important. So the first thing is, innovation. Innovation is an easy thing to talk about, but what we really focus on is innovating when it's asked for by our customers. So what we don't do is race off and develop software that we think the NHS will like, or say to the NHS, here's our software, now change what you do in order to be able to use it. We don't think that's the right way to make great software. So we really do engage with our customer ecosystem. On the back of that, it's all about communication. So we talk to our customers every day. As I said, our only focus is the NHS. We talk to hundreds of organizations every week in all parts of our business. So how we communicate, gather information, and listen is really important. Then expertise. We have a small army of great people in Isosec who work for us for years and years and years. And these guys and girls really do understand the market and make great software that's really fit for purpose. And then on the back of that, we have a really good culture here. So we believe in empowering our employees, and as a result, they love our customers and our customers love them back. And so we like to think that our whole customer journey and experience is really first class. Our churn rate as an organisation is just about 0. So once we have a customer on board, it tends to be for the very, very long term, which is something that we love. In terms of collaboration, this is really important. Isosec do not know it all, so we work with everybody, our customers, other sort of regulators within the NHS, our partners, independent consultants, everybody who we think's got a really good voice we want to listen to. So we really are engaged with our whole marketplace, not just with sort of only our customers. Okay, so here's a snapshot of some of our customers. Now, you'll know all of them or some of them, but we're very, very proud of what Isosec's achieved over the past 14 years. I think it's common knowledge that as a software company selling to the NHS, it can be hard work. It can be very, very hard to get through the door and to get your software into use. So we've sort of really, over the past 14 years or so, have got a huge number of customers now, and it really is something that we're proud of. And as always, we are happy to connect anybody with our customers in terms of references and user cases, etc. We are an open book in terms of our customer ecosystem. Okay, so what I want to do now is to walk through the Isosec product ecosystem and portfolio. And Isosec has really come a long, long way since we first introduced our identity agent to the NHS sort of 14 odd years ago. And we now have a really first-class product portfolio for identity and access management for the NHS. And I want to walk you through that and how it really is helping and transforming the NHS. So let's move on to that. Okay, so at a high level, everything that Isosec does is either residing on or using what we call the Isosec Secure Hub. So basically, this is our managed or cloud-based service. It's in an NHS-approved data center. It's an M3 aggregator, and it has a huge amount of redundancy built into it. So a dual independent links to M3 as an example. And it also has a co-location. So basically, we have a separate physical live failover. In that rare occasion that there is an outage at our primary data center, we have a backup that's absolutely instant failover. So that's something that we obviously have to give a peace of mind to our customers. So on the back of that, what I wanted to do was just run through quickly the things that Isosec are currently doing for the NHS. So I begin top left. So our identity agent. This is basically, if you like, where Isosec established its credentials in the NHS marketplace. So basically, this is an identity agent that began life as an alternative, if you like, to the NHS identity agent. Our co-founders were actually involved in the very, very first embryonic stages of the NHS identity agent, which was developed a long time ago. So these guys actually felt, what, we could develop something that's a great alternative that could give an enhanced level of service to the NHS. So basically, it obviously works with the estates of physical smart cards, but it also works with virtual smart cards. It's multi-platform, it's multi-device, it's fantastic in VDI, and it also provides a comprehensive audit trail for KPI and analytics, which I'll come to in a minute. I would stress here that the identity agent from Isosec is not a legacy product at all. It's actually front and center of a lot of what we're doing. So basically, this is going to be around in the mix in our product portfolio for a long time to come. So it's a product we are investing in and upgrading all the time for the benefit of our customers. Okay, next on the left-hand side, it's Virtual Smart Card. This really was a game changer for Isosec. We launched this in January of last year. We have about 16 NHS customers on this already. So what this was innovation driven by our customers who said, that with physical smart cards, there's a lot they love about it, but also, there are some drawbacks to how you manage a large estate of physical smart cards and all the difficulty that sometimes brings. So in essence, what the virtual smart card tries to do is to bring together all the great things about the physical smart cards, but also make it just easier for how you allocate them, how you manage them, how you track them. So basically, virtual smart card, it follows the same issuance process and RA process and ID checks and everything that you'd have with a physical card. But when you come to the printing stage, instead of creating a physical smart card, it's actually created in a cloud-based service. So the credentials are securely stored on there. So in essence, it then means there are no physical smart cards for those users, and there are a whole plethora of sort of benefits that come on the back of that, which I'll come to shortly. It's obviously also linked to our analytics and KPI service as well. Okay, the next product we wanted to showcase is our mobile platform, which we call it's called Mia. So in essence, it's actually a couple of things. It's a secure mobile platform for iOS and Android, and actually in that product is our identity agent sort of embedded, so it's able to be used on the device. So it's device-based authentication. It will work with physical smart cards, but obviously with the advent of virtual smart cards, it actually just adds to the usability of it. So in that mobile platform, there is a secure browser, and in addition, the ability for our customers to create apps. So there can be one or multiple sitting on the Mia platform. You've obviously got the authentication to the spine, which then allows you to open up obviously all of those sort of spine-enabled applications that you want to run on that device. So it's something that we're really proud of. It allows obviously the mobilization of applications that previously might have to be done on sort of laptops or Windows tablets. So it's a great alternative depending on the user case. Okay, moving over to the top right-hand side is our password reset self-service. Again, another product driven by our customer demand. We launched this in the autumn of last year. So this is for password reset self-service for Windows AD accounts. It's the only such product that's built only for the NHS. It's very, very simple to deploy. It's completely self-service in terms of enrollment and obviously password reset. So it's a light touch project that's not sort of requiring some sort of huge project team from our customers. It allows for 3 really simple recovery techniques, which I'll come to in a minute. But it's really exciting because it's one of those really simple magic wand style solutions that's easy to deploy, very, very light touch, and obviously is instantly going to sort out those password resets, which obviously chew up a lot of help desk time. As I said, we have a KPI and analytics platform. So all Isosec software is linked to this. All our software is instrumented, so everything that's happening is then flowing through to the KPI and analytics for our customers. So basically, you're able to see everything that's going on, who's doing what, who's using what. You're able to set KPIs, manage them with things like proactive alerts and everything that you need to make sure that your whole Isosec ecosystem is secure and optimal. So like as I said, every single Isosec product is linked to the KPIs and they are available for every customer. Okay, the last thing I wanted to come to, which is a very recent happening for us, single sign-on. We announced this only a couple of weeks ago. So Isosec are launching a single sign-on product, again, only built for the NHS. Again, it's come from a pent-up demand from our customers to have, a competitive single sign-on solution that will get the job done. So At the moment, we have 2 launch customers. We're in beta at the moment, so we're not quite ready to race out and sell this to every trust, but we'll be able to show this probably from the end of April to any interested customers. But in essence, what this is going to do is offer a cloud-based service. It's very digital. It'll be very easy to use, fast to deploy, and it's meant to cover in its first phase web-based and spine-enabled single sign-on. So tap and go functionality, everything that a customer would want, either in VDI or non-VDI environments. So something we're really excited about, brand new, but the feedback we're getting from the beta customers is fantastic. We are all working very, very hard on this at the moment. So we hope to have this available to the whole NHS ecosystem sort of from April or May. So there'll be much more news about that from Isosec in due course. So, to run through our identity agent and how that sort of, if you like, come of age, it began life as, an identity agent for desktop sort of users only, if you like, when it first came out. But over time, it's moved to desktop, and then from there, it's moved to sort of use within single sign-on. And I think from that, you can see where we've, if you like, gravitated to the single sign-on product, because there's so much that we do that's actually already in many of our products that's easy for us to bring together under one product of single sign-on. And also our identity agent is actually an absolute commodity used with the virtual smart card. So basically the virtual smart card leverages our identity agent on a desktop, whether it's VDI or non-VDI, and also on mobile devices for iOS and Android as well. So that's where I said earlier, our identity agent is absolutely front and center in a lot of what we do. Okay, so our virtual smart card. In essence, as I said, it follows the RA process that a trust would already have in. So basically, your ID checks, CMS, EG level 3, etc., are absolutely unchanged. But what happens is we have a very, very simple virtual RA client that allows your RA team to issue the virtual smart card as opposed to obviously printing a physical one. In terms of its sort of ease of use, it offers a full self-service reset for lock cards, as I think anybody would expect. It's extremely flexible in terms of its association with other sort of technologies, in particular AD, but also things like one-time passcodes, Google Authenticator, push notifications, etc. So if you like, where second factor authentications are required, it has all of that inbuilt into its availability. And obviously at the heart of it is your spine authentication. So basically a user is able to validate that it's them, obviously by their passcode of their virtual smart card and any second factor checks. It then uses our identity agent as normal for your spine authentication. So in a way, the user experience of what they're getting to in terms of clinical systems is identical. It's just how the virtual smart card replaces the physical smart card. Okay, there are many benefits of virtual smart card, and it sort of depends from trust to trust. But in essence, it's about saving time and money, and also saving sort of time from clinicians about how a physical smart card and its sort of ecosystem can affect their day. So in essence, the whole idea of lock cards or forgotten PIN codes kind of disappears, and also there's lots now which is coming in as virtual smart card matures. We've added functionality into it. So as an example, we are now launching a temporary card module. So basically, this allows you to issue a temporary virtual smart card on the basis that someone has already completed their ID checks. You can have basically a locum doctor on a Saturday afternoon who's already ID checked in that trust. well then, you know, he doesn't have to go to the RA office. I mean, you can issue the virtual smart card through an appointed representative, maybe on the ward, who's enabled to give that card out. So there are all sorts of user cases here of how agency, locum staff, and also the issuing of cards to like cohorts of junior doctors, etc. You know, it's obviously a trust by trust thing, but overall there's, you know, a number of ways of really making that a lot easier. In terms of IG, you know, we all know that physical smart cards are prone from time to time to be misused, to be shared. You know, you hear stories about PIN numbers being written on the back of them, and just a lack of visibility and control. Well, obviously with the virtual smart card, you know, they cannot be easily shared. You know, they can be limited on time. So, for instance, if it's a locum doctor, he can be given a card for 12 hours or a week or a month. You know, that's a trust-based decision. But in essence, you know, the whole process is linked to our KPIs and analytics. So a trust customer is able to see exactly what's going on, who's using which virtual smart card and when, and you know, and all of a sudden that IG becomes very, very tight over their use. You know, clinicians love it. You know, there's just, you know, without a doubt, we have had zero negative feedback, which is interesting. So basically, you know, the virtual smart card, once it's in the hands of the clinician, they love it, which is fantastic, because it just makes their life easier. They don't have a physical card. If they forget their passcode, they can reset it very simply. There's no travel to get them. So, you know, this whole ease of adoption is really important. That you know, the actual user experience is a fantastic one. And we have a saying here at Isosec, which is consumer grade software. So how do we develop and introduce software into the NHS that is of consumer quality, so people would say, do you know what, this is the same as I'd get, you know, in my own private life. So where, you know, we feel now this product is mature. We have a lot of users for it, and it's actually been a huge success for us. You know, I said about transforming the NHS. So you know, here's a trust as an example who actually feel virtual smart card has really transformed their trust. So they began to use virtual smart card in terms of agency locum staff to start off with, but now they've actually rolled out virtual smart card estate-wide, and this is Barnsley Hospital NHS Foundation Trust. So they actually feel that all the time they're saving on the physical card ecosystem, a lot of that time is then going back into patient care. So that's a really good story. You know, that is a true transformational journey for a trust. Another interesting way that virtual smart card is actually also helping to transform the NHS is RPA. So RPA, hot topic, everybody's talking about it. Every trust is, if they aren't doing it, are looking at it. But in essence, with RPA, there comes the issue that a lot of RPA requires authentication. Now, obviously, with physical smart cards, you have a few difficulties here, but obviously the main obvious one is if there's any hiccups, they have to be physically sort of reinserted and activated. So the virtual smart card is able to eradicate that and actually ensure that the RPA process is as smooth as silk. So here is a trust, it's East Suffolk and North Essex, and they have extremely successfully used the virtual smart card in terms of their RPA, and actually rely on it totally. So 24/7, our virtual smart card is actually supporting and underpinning the RA process. And as like a byproduct of this, you know, there's huge savings for this trust in terms of you know how they're improving efficiency, like things like missed appointments. You know, when someone isn't able to make an appointment, you know, they can automatically sort of take information from A to B and ensure that time is freed up for another patient to obviously grab that appointment time. So it's really exciting about how virtual smart card is really making a difference in the NHS. Okay, I wanted to come to password reset now. So like as I said, a really sort of simple product in a way. It's quite complex under the bonnet, but we've deployed it. It's cloud-based deployment, and it's made to be simple for our customers to take. It's obviously based in our NHS-approved data center. It's just made to be simple. So basically, the whole enrollment process is simple. It takes 3 or 4 minutes. Excuse me. It can be mandated by the trust customer. So basically, if you want, you could make people enroll on their first AD login, or their second, or the third, or the fourth, the fifth, or the 10th. That's up to you as a trust to dictate that. But you obviously want to get people enrolled, so then obviously the self-service just becomes simple. It offers 3 really industry accepted recovery options. There's secret answers, there's a secure email. So basically, this is to a trusted email domain. So not just the NHS one at the trust, but also to other domains that are allowed to be trusted, which can include Gmail and Hotmail as an example. So basically, you use that, and then through that email, you get a secure one-time passcode to enter in as a recovery. And also, it could use an NHS physical and virtual smart card. So what this is doing is actually a spine authentication to add, or to ensure that really is the user of that physical or virtual smart card. So basically, it's completely self-service, completely self-enrollment. So very, very light touch. There's only one very, very small integration touch point, which is sort of an LDAP style connector, which is pretty straightforward to do. So like as I said, we introduced this only recently. It's now sort of flying off the shelf. We expect probably by the end of this calendar year to have about 20 or so trusts using this. It's a great success. It's a great product, and obviously we'd be happy to show it to anybody. Its benefits are obvious. It's about saving time and money for the time it would take you on a help desk to run through a password reset. But it's obviously purpose-built for the NHS. It obviously has your IG governance. It links with our KPI, so you can really get to the bottom of who's using it, how often, and why. Obviously, with the our recovery options, you're also really making sure that it's secure. I think one of the things that we hear anecdotally is that clinicians, when they're locked out from AD, it's all pain in the neck, especially if it happens at 5, 6 o'clock at night or over a weekend. So this is a 24/7 always on service. So basically just ensures that, we'd hope over 99.9% password resets can be done through this product, and it's easy to use. It really is. Adoption should never be a problem with this. And here's just a quote from one of our customers at Blackpool. It's done exactly what they wanted. They had a legacy product that was very, very good actually, but it was kind of end of life for a few reasons. So they chose password reset from us. It's been a great success and a great partnership with them. Okay, so I'm beginning to get to the end of what we wanted to run through, but obviously it's okay having great software, but you've got to be able to sort of track its use, analyze and report. That's really a key function that sort of every trust should be demanding. So as I said, we provide a platform for this. It's completely self-service. It's easy to use, and in essence, sort of everything that happens within a customer's software ecosystem with Isosec is in this platform. So almost any report you want, any KPI you want to set up, any analytics is all fingertip control. So basically, it's all about finding out what's going on that's great, and at times what's going on that isn't so great, and that your security policies and everything else have been enforced, and that overall you're satisfying your own IG sort of rules and conditions. Okay. So in terms of the wrap up, Isosec, we're very proud of what we do for the NHS. It's very important to us, and it is all about innovation, but it's also about working in partnership with our customers, with the ecosystem, and with fantastic partners like Bytes. But for the trust, it has to be, however good the software is, it always has to pay for itself. We all know that. So we have a whole range of tools we can work with trusts to show efficiencies, how it will benefit them. There are both tangible and intangible savings benefits, which we are always sort of happy to work on how we build business cases. Our software has to be easy to use and easy to adopt. Every time we set out on a software journey, we really do think about the users. How do we make their life easier every day? So that is absolutely in our DNA. And security, Isosec never ever forget that we are a security software business. So under the bonnet, we have very, very complex and rigorous security in play with our software. And I'm very proud to say that in the 14 years of Isosec working with the NHS, we have never ever been held to account over flaws or any shortcomings in our software. So that is a really proud thing. It's something we can't take for granted, and we work very hard on that today and also for tomorrow. But security is really really paramount to us. I think we're kind of running out of time in terms of Q&A. But what I would suggest is that if anybody has got any questions for us, please send them over, sales@isosec.co.uk, or alternatively to me, my email is michael.latimer@isosec.co.uk, and we'd be delighted to help and obviously give you any more information which we can. So on that note, it's just left for me to say thank you very, very much indeed for your time and to listening to me. It's something that we love dealing with the NHS, and if we could ever help, you know where we are. Yeah, so thanks again.
Okay, that's brilliant. Thank you, Michael. So thank you everyone for joining us today on today's webinar. As mentioned, as Michael said, that he did give you an email address there, or there are email addresses on the page here. If you do have any questions, just please pop those in the feedback form at the end, and we will be in touch. Or if you'd like any further information or like to request a call back, just pop that in there too, and we will be in touch. And like I said at the beginning as well, that we have recorded the webinar today, so I'll send you all an email most probably tomorrow with the links to the recording. Okay, so thank you, Michael, for presenting, and thank you everyone for joining the webinar today. I hope you found it valuable, and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.